So where do we go from here? Is that sure as hell feels like the end of the or the end of the main combat story plot of the DLC. Is there going to be afterward wrap up?
Something must be done, but we cannot lose the Inquisition now. We stand on the brink of war with the Canary.
Yes, because this Solas provoked them in the first place.
It's weird that there's no visual right now.
The Inquisition did not cause this threat. We informed the Summit of the danger.
The danger posed by Canary spies inside your organization.
Without our organization, you would not be alive to complain.
No one has forgotten what you have done. But Corypheus is 2 years dead.
If the Inquisition is to continue, it must do so as a legitimate organization, not a glorified mercenary band.
I kind of agree.
Inquisitor.
Assert Divine Victoria. Efforts against souls will be stronger but risk corruption. Oh my god, this is... holy shit. Wow. This is... okay. There's a... oh, this feels like pick your ending, almost. Inquisition will be... alright, alright. We serve... what are these? We serve the Divine, not you. Inquisition will serve Divine Victoria. Efforts against souls will be stronger, but risk corruption. We will keep the peace. Inquisition will serve Divine Victoria. Okay, same thing. We need more oversight. Serve Divine Victoria. Souls will be stronger, but risk corruption. Souls will be weaker but more secure. We'll solve this ourselves. Inquisition will be disbanded. Efforts against souls will be weaker but more secure. Inquisition needs to end. Inquisition will be disbanded. Efforts against souls will be weaker but more secure. Oh, whoops. Yeah, same. So those are all the same core option. These are all the same core option. So... my care at this point is about convincing Solus. My care at this point is about trying to convince Solus and trying to prove to him that the current world of people is worth saving over restoring, and I don't even, will it restore the lives of the old elves? Or just restore the power of the current elves? I don't quite understand what his ideal picture looks like. Will it bring back elves who died when the Veil was created from the dead? I don't think so. Okay, so I've been thinking about this. I think we want to do something from the right tree here. I think Divine Victoria is fantastic. But I think that we don't want corruption. I think corruption is the kind of thing that will play into Solus's hands more, and the kind of thing that will show him that we're not worth saving. And I think that's the goal, is showing that we are worth saving. We'll solve this ourselves. Inquisition will be disbanded. So who's ourselves in this case? Is that like a non-Inquisition, like a non-military? Do we just become like a party of 4 or 5 people, like Cullen, Josephine, the team, like that sort of thing? Our work is done. That feels wrong. The Inquisition needs to end. Okay, I've been thinking about this I must have been sitting here for, I think if I were exaggerating, I'd say I've been sitting here for hours thinking about it, but I've been sitting here for probably a good 5 minutes just staring at this screen and puzzling over these options. That feels like a long time to me. I think I'm going to go the teach them how to say goodbye from Hamilton route. I think I'm going to go disband it. Our work is done here. I think our core work was defeating Corypheus. I think anything beyond that will evolve into something that's uncomfortable for Alana especially, who doesn't, I don't know. And I don't think this issue of proving that that people are worth saving is going to be solved by being part of a massive organization. Here we go.
You all know what this is. A writ from Divine Justinia authorizing the formation of the Inquisition. We pledge to close the breach, find those responsible, and restore order, with or without anyone's approval. We have fulfilled that pledge, and now the war is over. for most of us. It is time for our soldiers to sheathe their swords and go home.
Josephine's like, what the fuck are you doing?
To all who served, thank you. It has been an honor.
Yeah, she is not. I don't think she's that happy. I don't know what she's feeling. She's shocked at least.
Effective immediately, the Inquisition is disbanded.
So I think, yeah, the first step towards showing Solus that... Well, one step towards showing Solus kind of what we can be is not grasping onto power beyond its expiration date. That's probably a good start. So what happens to Skyhold now, though? Maybe we can make Varric the Viscount. Everyone leaving. So the only negative of this DLC is the lack of Cullen's dog. I wish that were more in the picture. Everything else perfect and awesome. In short order, the Inquisition was disbanded. Some were relieved to see the unpredictable organization dismantled. So this is putting the writ into a box. I don't know if I don't want to press something in case I don't. Okay. Others preferred to remember the Inquisition's good works and the many lives it had saved. Yeah, we did pretty good. We did some good stuff. Those who had served returned to their former lives, knowing they had stopped a great evil from destroying the world. True. And hoping that the peace for which they had fought remained once the Inquisition was gone. Sounds like that's not gonna happen. With the dragon's breath disrupted and any hope of a swift victory dash, the Qunari retreated back to the north. And so, was it correct then that the Vitasala did this of her own accord? Or was that just the Qun covering for her? Few knew what debates were waged in Parvalum, but not long after the Exalted Council, the Qunari launched new attacks against Tevinter. So that's probably good for us. Their aggression caught the already unstable Imperium off guard. Tevinter was soon mired in a war many feared could spread across Thedas. The Exalted Council remained intact, advising Divine Victoria on important matters. Cassandra served for several years. Does Cassandra have pigtails? While she often disagreed with Liliana's policies, the former right and left hands of the Divine shared a mutual respect and worked well together. Good. That can't be pigtails. That's got to be like a something else. I don't know. Cassandra also spent time in the Hunterhorn Mountains north of Orlais, where she worked to rebuild the Seekers. For a time, the new Seekers remained reclusive, showing no interest in worldly affairs and working toward a purpose few outside their order could guess. Look at those guns on Cassandra. I love this art. With the Inquisition no longer the power it had once been, the mages who had been its bright hand were left to take up civilian lives. Oh, that's right, we kind of left them hanging, didn't we? Some returned to the familiarity of the Circle under Vivian's guidance as the newly elected Grand Enchanter. Most of the seasoned veterans formed a new College of Enchanters, a secular institution seeking opportunities for mages across the South. So the circles aren't disbanded yet, as I thought they would be with, or the two institutions settled into an uneasy coexistence across the South, vying for power, so kind of setting up the potential politics for the next game within the mages. After the Exalted Council, Leliana devoted herself fully to the Sunburst throne and her dream of reshaping the Chantry. Yeah, the mage thing is going to take a little while. I guess it's not an immediate thing. Within a year, she removed restrictions surrounding Chantry priesthood, allowing men and women of all races to be initiated and ordained. Go, Leliana. I have no regrets about making her the Divine. This decree was followed swiftly by her decision to return the Canticle of Shartan to the canonical chant, a move that divided Andrastians deeply. I don't remember what the Canticle of Shartan is. A rebellion to renounce her and return the Chantry to its former state arose, beginning first in Orlais, then spreading to other parts of Thedas. It's expected. As quickly as it began, the rebellion faltered. That's what you get when you fuck with the left hand. While most agreed that the rebellion collapsed due to infighting, some whispered that the Divine herself engineered its failure. Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did. Yes, she did. Look at her up there. The rebellion fractured into a number of separate cells, some of which limped on for several months before disappearing into obscurity. That's the other reason they picked Leliana, is that I think she's best equipped to deal with that sort of thing. Sarah left the Inquisition with scarcely more ties than when she began, disappearing back into her confusing weave of favors and friends. Oh, look at her up there. After seeing the world brought to the brink by arrogance and pride, it was a blessing to return to normal, however strange and normal it might be. She's ready to poke some nobles in the butts with her arrows. Perhaps most unnerving was Sarah's standing offer to the Divine. Okay. When the knobs piss about with your left or hand or right, call on Red Jenny to give them 2 fingers. That's perfect. Oh, that's perfect. I'm so happy that she's like still in the picture. Varric returned to Kirkwall, where as Viscount, he resumed his work rebuilding the damaged city infrastructure. He is so annoyed. Look at him on that throne. Under his rule, the city-state finally resumed its place as the major trade hub of the Free Marches. That makes sense. He'd be a great Viscount. He continued to ignore all mail from both the Merchants Guild and the Prince of Starkhaven. Yeah, he seems very unlusty for power and thus remarkably unsusceptible to influence. Negative ones. With the Inquisition disbanded, the Bull's chargers returned to taking jobs throughout Orlais and Ferelden. There's Krem. Look at him. Fighting demons and clearing out the remains of Venatori forces, the Iron Bull did his part to restore order to Thedas. After the Inquisition disbanded, Cullen retired from active service. Oh, there's the puppy. Look at that beautiful doggo. A life with his pup. He returned to Ferelden, establishing a sanctuary for former Templars and for Mabari, on land Divine Victoria granted to him. With his help, many Templars shed their lyrium addiction, and those whose minds were too far gone spent their last days in comfort. Good guy Cullen. Absolute good guy Cullen. And he promised that, should his friends from the Old Inquisition ever need him, his blade would be ready. I forgot something after this. I'm excited to watch the Dragon Age 4 trailer, because wasn't there a trailer that came out for that game? I say this in February 2021. Dorian returned to Deventer to take his father's place in the Magisterium. To take his father was okay with him? As rumors flew about the Imperium's infighting, Dorian was often spoken of as a voice of resistance against corruption. Good, he was. I'm not surprised that he was. Along with Magister Maevaris Tilani, he formed a group called the Lucarni to restore and redeem Tevinter, a fight many thought hopeless. Yeah, Tevinter's pretty fucked up, isn't it? After the Exalted Council, Tom Rainier bid farewell to his friends and went to Weishaupt Fortress to pledge himself to the Grey Wardens for good. It seems like he's doing well, too. While he was rarely seen in the years that followed, some said they encountered Rainier in far-flung lands, their accounts always similar. A man who looked like he had the potential to be interesting, but who was just not as interesting as he could be. Rainier carried out the duty of the Wardens, but always found time to help others along the way. Okay. Yeah, he's fine. Sometimes he served as a shield for the defenseless. Other times he spread simple cheer among children with gifts of small carved toys. Yeah, like there's nothing bad in his actions. He's totally fine. He's more than that. He's heroic. He's noble. He's just not super interesting. With the Inquisition disbanded, Josephine made her farewells and returned to Antiva with her family. That's Josephine? Okay. Thanks to the Inquisitor's help, the Monteliers were once again permitted to trade in Orlais. Look at her, restoring her family. The next few years were a busy time, as many ships with the Montelier crest were built and set sail again from Antiva's harbor. She got the birds. Soon, remaining pirate captains with an ancient feud against Josephine's ancestors took to the seas, determined to rekindle the rivalry. Why? Just because they had a target to loot and plunder? Apart from Josephine's sister Yvette nearly eloping with a dashing pirate prince on one occasion, Lady Montelier took the development in stride. Cole and Meriden, this is what I want to see more of. Cole took the road with Meriden to find a new life and a new way to be human. What a pair these two are. Whenever Meriden went to sing, people found old pains eased and hearts made happier, even if they didn't understand why. Yeah, Cole's still not quite human. Mostly human. Mostly. After the events at the Winter Palace, the elves left the Inquisition under mysterious circumstances, as did elven servants across the Thedas. Elves left the Inquisition under... None could say where they went, but those who believed the Inquisitor's story about Fenrirel wondered just how large the Dread Wolf's forces were. So I think he's trying to restore, then, the actual elves living in the world, what the ancient elven rebel had planned. I think he's trying to restore the elves that are living in the world to power, like, because they were never in power. Like, trying to bring these specific new elves into the power that the old elves once had. I think that's what he's trying to do. Trophy earned, forever marked. What is this? Because Alana's still doing stuff, right?
My agents have found nothing. With the Illuvians, he could be anywhere.
With the Inquisition officially disbanded, we have no army, no formal alliances.
We have what we truly need.
We will need to be careful.
Solus knows everything about us. Who we are, how we work, our strengths and weaknesses.
Then we find people he doesn't know. We will save our friend from himself, if we can.
We're going to Tevinter? Oh, I want to stand up and applaud. What a great game that was. I know it took me like multiple years to actually play it and complete it. Thank you to Proustian for recommending it to me. This has been a treat, a delight, and a point of consistency and comfort in what has been a tough year. So it's been a blast to keep doing this and to have, to kind of look forward to my time. I get to play this each week, and I'm really happy I did not to. Now, just some general final thoughts. The characters are fantastic. The overall plot with Corypheus, take it or leave it. I'm okay with it. It wasn't brilliant, but it was fine. I am really excited for the overall plot in the next Dragon Age game, though, because I'm so invested already into who the villain is. It's not going to feel like random evil mage. It's going to feel like it's this guy who was our bestie. I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited for the next Dragon Age. I don't know when it's supposed to come out, but the characters in this game were absolutely the heart of it. I'm a little bit sad that I didn't get to have, like, Iron Bull in my party all the time and Cole in my party all the time, and I get it, because I got used to it, I got comfortable with my party, and, there's a cost for swapping parties and members in and out constantly. All that means is I'm looking forward to watching other people play this game. I don't think I'll play it. I mean, I'm not one for replaying games, so it's nothing against Dragon Age itself. But I doubt I'll play it myself again over and over. Yeah, the next, and that's going to be it for me. The next thing up is going to be Hades. I'm going to try out Hades and see how that goes. Probably start that next week. Probably not this week. Probably I'll have my first session over the weekend if I can get it up and running. And I think I'm going to leave it off here, and I will cut back in if anything else happens post-credit. So thank you for watching. If you've been with me for one episode or for 196 or however many.
A new book? All this shit is weird. Oh, Varric, that is a terrible title. What are you even thinking?
Apparently Varric is working on a new book. The Iron Bull's Freddie Prinze Jr.
The sky churned like a rolling sea on a dark and stormy
Flemeth,
night,
that was it.
centered on a gaping hole that led to the arse end of nowhere. A hole that spit up many things that day. Comets, demons, and a whole lot of trouble.
Oh, she's doing the Hardin Hightown voice.
Inquisition.
She's so excited. I'm so happy. I didn't skip past this.
The din of the tavern cut the silence like it owed the carter money. In the middle, in her element, Red Jenny. She looked me up and down, mostly down. Not playing, weirdy, she said, gesturing with and dismissively eating a sandwich. Don't write that. Seriously, piss up a row.
Oh, Cassandra's Sarah
made
voice.
the subtext text, which suited me fine.
Her Sarah voice is so ridiculous.
The court enchanter swirled into the room like a drop of beautiful poison spreading in a wineglass. She sized me up with a glance.
It's a good description of her.
I'm so glad you made it, my dear, she said. I am Madame de Fair, the most terrifying person you shall ever meet.
Oh my god, her Vivienne voice. Her Vivienne voice, her Sarah voice is perfect, her Vivienne voice is just as
Liliana
perfect.
Enfolded Alphonse in an embrace as warm as a serpent's kiss. I always knew I could count on your support. The Count did not feel the bite of her poisoned dart until it was too late. Even if it requires your death.
I'm crying, tearing up. This is amazing.
Drops of rain glistened on the griffin medallion grasped tightly in Blackwall's hand. The silverite wings of valor, they mean nothing. He flung the medal to the cold and uncaring ground. You don't know what I've done. You don't know me. So romantic.
I didn't hear what that she said at the end. Oh my god. I can't look. I can see the screen.
Cole moved like a shadow that also moved like a knife. A shadow wearing a hat where dreams came to die. It's a riddle, he whispered. A cold riddle that gnaws at your mind, but you'll feel better when it's gone.
This
Makes as much sense as anything Cole says.
This is absolutely the most brilliant ending they could have done.
Do you place your herald above the law, Ambassador? Whose law, my lady? Josephine's eyes glittered like angry opals. The law destroyed by rebellion, by civil war, by poor fiscal management. We are the law.
Is Cassandra going to be in this book? She's got to be, right? I don't think she was mentioned yet.
We left our mark on Adamant, but the dust hadn't settled, and neither had Harding. I can offer you a drink, if I catch your meaning.
If you caught my meaning, you'd have offered a double.
What is even happening here?
And I love that she's like, she's kind of mocking it, but she's also so genuinely into it because she's a big fan of. She's like Varric's biggest fan as a reader.
The Iron Bull was a great slab of muscle with horns that could hang a tapestry. One eye scanned for threats, while the other hid behind an eye patch like a chantry sister's old sins. Come
It's so
on,
noir.
he barked, not looking back as he entered. The dancer with the great rack comes on in 5. That is spot on, actually. The commander had the look of a Templar who had seen the worst of humanity, yet still had the time to style his hair.
Oh my god.
This isn't just a war, he said, his gaze steely like a dull blade. It's the only war. Cullen! That's Cullen!
Yes, it is. She's so excited. She's so excited to make that connection.
The mage wore a class of handsome sneer cultivated by 1,000 years of Tevinter elitism. The name's Dorian, he glared. D-O-R-I-A-N. Spell it right, you marble-headed lump, or it's toad time. A toad? That's hardly credible.
I don't think he had that kind of magic, but I'm happy he does in this story. And I hope that in this book, it's Toad Time becomes like Dorian's catchphrase.
The bold elf spun, mage staff crackling like the city after a good man's murder. You're crazy, the Red Templar cried in terror.
Here's your soulless
Moonlight
voice.
glinted off ears like the knives you never see coming. Better to fade out than burn away. Ugh, Varric.
And I'm not sure that really matches with Solus, given what we saw at the end there, but I don't know.
Wait, where am I? I don't... Oh, here it is.
Okay,
the
good.
Seeker clutched at my vest, her tears as desperate as they were pitiful. Varric, I was wrong about everything, she sobbed.
I
Could
can't.
you find it in your noble heart to forgive me?
I can't.
That dwarf, he put me in the book. I'm in the book. I am reading the shit out of this.
Oh my god. This is so good. This is so good. That's the perfect ending. It's absolutely the perfect ending. To all of you who played Dragon Age Inquisition, who laughed, cried, and reached out on social media, who made fan art and comics and cosplay and jokes, thank you. Dragon Age Inquisition was a labor of love. Without you, it would never have been possible. Your support and your passion touched us deeply. We hope that in some small way the game touched you as well. Amen to that. Bear your blade and raise it high, the Dragon Age team. And that's it for real. That's it for real. Thanks again for watching. I will see you next time. If you join me in the journey with Hades and beyond, I think after that maybe Subnautica. I don't really know. It depends. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye-bye.